Today, I want to talk to you about getting your web video content from looking and sounding like this to looking and sounding more like this. Now, that's a lot better, isn't it? Today I'm going to walk you through 5 things that are going to help your web videos out a lot. Number 1 is camera. Number 2 is audio. Number 3 is light. Number 4 is your background. And number 5, the apps you use. And I promise I'm going to keep this easy and I'm going to keep it affordable. Once we have run through those 5 things, I'll be back here to give you a few extra tips and to give you a little bit of backstory on how I'm creating content these days. Let's just look at this video. Video quality is pretty bad. The audio quality is horrible. The light is not very good on me. The background is way too busy. And oh my God, don't ever photograph or video me from this angle. This angle is horrible. We got to fix all of this. You could be shooting these on the selfie cam on your phone. One problem people have is they look at themselves on the screen while they're talking instead of finding the camera and addressing directly to the camera. Also remember to turn off your washing machine. That's a little better. I'm a professional photographer, so I have no shortage of cameras at my disposal. I have cameras that can shoot video, cameras that shoot stills, some that do both. But at the end of the day, when I decided to start doing videos again for YouTube and other web content, I just decided to go with my phone. And I'll tell you about that at the end of the video. One of the best ways to improve your video quality is to simply improve your audio quality. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Isn't this a lot better? I started looking around online and I found this microphone. It's just a wired lav mic. It has a lightning connector on one end and just the microphone on the other with a clip. And it also comes with a little windscreen if you ever need that. And this worked out pretty well for me, except it was a little too short. So I ordered this microphone again with a 12-foot long cable. And 12 feet so far has been long enough for me to run a microphone up to my phone and keep it out of my shot. One note to make if you're using this wired lav kind of connection to your phone is that your phone thinks it's an audio device. So if you record a video and simply just go to your phone and do a playback, you're not going to hear the audio because it's trying to play it out through the wired connection. You need to unplug the mic and then you'll hear the audio just fine. So let's find some light. First rule, usually you don't want to backlight yourself. But if you've got a window, that can actually be some pretty nice light right there. Face a window. There's the first good natural light source that you can find. Here I'm in between 2 windows and I'm kind of getting lit by this light a little bit. So what you want to do is just move yourself back towards a window. Looking at myself on the screen, see how that looks? And that looks better than if I'm moving away from the window. Just turning more lights on doesn't necessarily help because the color temperature of the light hitting you can change from one light source to the other. So I have this cool kind of daylight coming in from the windows over there. And then I've got this light on over here, which is tungsten. And now we've got one color of light hitting me on this side of the face and one color of light hitting me on this side of the face. And it's just not very visually pleasing. So find one kind of light source, either all a bunch of lights like that or all a bunch of light like that, so that they're not mixing too much, especially on your face. So right here in my living room, I have 2 windows in a corner. And if I turn and face those, that's a pretty nice, even light on my face. I'm not getting a bunch of weird different color casts on my skin, so that's okay. And then I just need to kind of start thinking about this background back here, because that's kind of distracting, all this stuff, especially if you have a dog constantly follows you around the house. Alfie, are you bored? There's no one playing with you. Come on, Rev, play with the dog. One of the most important things for me when I started to shoot these videos again was to make sure that I had a consistent light source. I wanted to be able to shoot at any time of day or at any place in my house and have a consistent, good quality of light. I also didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on this stuff, so I tested out 2 different kits. The first kit that I tested out was this LED ring light made by Pixel. It comes with the ring light, it comes with an iPhone adapter so it can hold your phone, and it comes with a fairly cheap little light stand. It gets the job done. I mean, I'm not going to be traveling with these things, so durability in a flight case was not my biggest concern. One thing I really like about the ring light is that it comes with a little remote control, so I can adjust its brightness, turn it off, turn it on. I can also turn its color balance from warm tungsten to more of a daylight, and that's a pretty nice feature to have. The other kit I tried out is this one by Neewer, N-E-E-W-E-R, Neewer. It was a 2-light kit, and the whole kit comes with 2 light stands, 2 light panels, 2 barn doors, and these little pop-up soft boxes that you strap on to the light. In fact, the light that's mainly lighting me right now is from one of those little pop-up soft boxes. This light panel is bi-color. It means that it has tungsten LEDs and daylight balanced LEDs. There's no remote control for it. I wish there was. That would be a really nice feature. That's why I like this ring light a lot. You just adjust this thing manually. There's 2 knobs on the back. One will bring the tungsten lights up or down. The other will bring the daylights up or down, or you can mix them as needed. Overall, I'm really happy with both of these lights. I could have this set or I could have this one, and I could get what I need done with them. They're easy to just put in a closet or in a corner of a room, and when I need them, I pull them out, use them, put them away. It's pretty super simple. If I was purchasing lights again, I think I would go with 2 of these ring lights because of the remote control. I can set one up as a main light, and I can set up another one as an accent light or a little rim light. The typical way people use a ring light is putting it right to camera position, and it gives you this interesting shadow on the background. It gives a very clean, even lighting to the face. This is going to be so awesome for my YouTube thumbnails. And it's really popular with beauty vloggers. All right, guys, today is lash day. All right, I'm gonna share with you something from my new sponsor. But here's the thing with the ring light. It's still just a light source. You don't have to have it right on axis with the camera. You can have it off to the side, and it can be a main light for you. And so far, it's been working pretty well for me in that way. Before I started shooting these new videos for my YouTube channel, I went all around my house testing the light, testing the background, and seeing which would be the best place I could get consistent results over and over and over again without having to move a lot of furniture or wait for certain times a day to be able to make videos. I can't shoot these videos outside because there's just way too many elements that I cannot control. Before I start talking about the apps I use, let me give you another audio tip. You might also want to unplug your refrigerator. Hear that? That's better. For apps, I'm currently using 3 apps to make these videos. Running on my camera right now is an app called Filmic Pro, and it's a really great camera app. There's a lot under the hood that you can get into if you want to really geek out about it. But just overall, it's a really simple app to use to lock in your focus, lock in exposure, white balance, all of that. If you would like, I can do a video just on Filmic Pro, so hit me up in the comments if you want that. Running on the iPad here is the companion app called Filmic Remote, put out by the same company. And it allows me to see a feed, albeit a bit laggy, but it works, it's fine. And that allows me to sit back in my spot here where I'm gonna be making videos, take a look at what the camera is seeing, change exposure, set my white balance, focus, any little tweaks I need to do to the camera there, and then hit record, change my audio levels, whatever. It's really made it a lot easier, so I'm not having to get up, go around, check the camera, come back, sit down, hope it's recording. Is it recording? I can't remember if it's recording. I can see it all right here on the screen. If you don't have a separate tablet to run a remote, you might have like an older phone sitting around your house. That's what this is. This is an old iPhone 7. It barely holds a charge anymore on the battery. The home button is broken. So sometimes if I'm not working with my iPad, I can pull up Filmic Remote here and do all of the same adjustments. So far, these two apps have been working really great for me. Once I've gotten all my video footage shot and captured, I airdrop it into my iPad to edit. I've tested several different video editors for the iPad, and what I've come down to is my favorite, and the one I like using the most right now, is an app called LumaFusion. So this is the LumaFusion app. Over here, you can access your files and your video clips and pictures and anything like that. You can pull them directly from your camera roll, from iCloud, from your files, from Dropbox. There's several different places you can go and grab elements for your video. Down below is the timeline, and let me just show you how quickly you could throw something together. Let's say that you're an online coach or you're making a product announcement to your Facebook page or something like that, and you want to make a video about it. Now, the first thing to know about Facebook videos is the very first frame of your video is going to be the thumbnail. So if I'm putting something onto Facebook, I'll typically start the video off with a title. Now that the title is placed, then I'll drop in my content. And now I need to edit. So I can go down there to the timeline, grab that, scrub where I need to scrub, to get my starting point, find my end point. If I need to cut up the timeline a little bit and do some jump cuts or kill some things that I don't want to say in the final video, I can cut and slice and move things around. And then one thing I really like is the integration with Storyblocks. Storyblocks has a lot of video footage, stock photos, and music that you can use. So you can hop over here into the Storyblocks library, find yourself a song, drop it down here in your timeline. You can do a transition to fade it in, transition to fade it out. If you need to change the overall volume level of the track, that's super simple to do as well. You can export it just to your camera roll and then upload to Facebook or YouTube or wherever. It's super simple. But like with Filmic Pro, there's a lot more under the hood. So if you want to get really technical with some things, you can do that in this app. I am planning on making a whole video about editing in LumaFusion. If that is something you would like to see, let me know in the comments. So let's walk through this shot. After walking all over my house and figuring out where am I going to shoot videos, I have come down to my kitchen table, which I think is the best place for me right now to make these videos. Now the background is okay. I do have an issue with this door frame that keeps popping up behind my head. I always want my head to be in a clean spot. And so I try to stay about right here. I'm looking at my Filmic remote. And if I start to get off over here a little bit, that back here bugs me a bit. Now let's look at the light. Currently I have the light on all the way over my head. It's just your standard kitchen table light. And it's not a very good light for shooting videos. It's coming straight down on me. It's not a very good quality of light. Plus I wear a hat quite a bit because I really need to get a haircut. So I usually like throw a hat on, and all of this is too dark underneath the brim of my hat. So the first thing we're going to do is turn that off. Echo, turn the kitchen off. Boom. All right. So that's better. I've got a big bank of windows here, actually, that I could rely on sunny days and in the morning. But on a day like today where it's rainy and gross and there's not a ton of light coming in from these windows, especially for video, especially if you're shooting video on your phone. You need more light. So let there be light. Boom. There's my ring light. So my ring light is about 45 degrees off from me. And it's not really pointing directly at me, but it's pointed a little more in front of me. So it's feathered onto me. It's a little bit lower on the stand so that light gets up under my brim of my hat. My eyes are lit well, pretty much. Fix my hat. Over in my dining room, I have one of those newer panels, just getting a little rim light right here to my side of the face. I usually have something playing on the TV back there. Either it's a slideshow of my own photography, or it's some sort of royalty-free YouTube screensaver of, an aquarium or something like that. Just to have something going on in the background. I haven't yet decided if it's too distracting or not. I could just throw a logo up on that screen. I could turn it off, but then it's just this black hole back there. I feel like it needs something on it. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. So for now, it's just a slideshow of my visual pollution and my dog walking back there. The next thing, looking at my shot, that lamp back over here is too bright for me. So I want to bring that down. Echo, turn the living room to 5%. I just want a little bit of a glow from it. I don't need it blaring back there. So yeah, that's a little warm glow. That's nice. Echo, turn the TV to 40%. And there we go. Just a nice little glow. And then I will adjust this light here, my ring light, where I need it to be. And that looks pretty good. I'm getting to that age, y'all, where I have to do this to look at things close up. I'm getting old. Sucks. All right, so that looks good. Here's a few more things you need to think about for making videos online. No matter what camera you're using, whether it's your phone or something else, always have a microfiber cloth around, especially if you're using your phone, because God knows where that phone has been. Keep your lens clean, and if you're using your selfie camera at all, remember to clean that part of your camera as well. You don't want a dirty lens when you're making videos. Next up, I highly suggest you get yourself some sort of tripod and some sort of phone mount, if you're using your phone to make these videos, so that you're not just stacking your phone up on a pile of books or holding it constantly so it's moving. I have a link in the description for a fairly inexpensive, small, easy to use tripod. One last tip is if you're sitting at a table or a desk like this, make sure that your tripod is not sitting on the same surface, because if you're like me and you like to talk with your hands and move around a lot, then that's going to shake the tripod, which is going to shake the camera, and you want to avoid that shake as much as possible. That was, I can do that better, I can do that shorter. God, Zach, these videos are so long. I know, I'm working on it. My last tip is for those of you who don't frequent beauty supply stores very often. I went down to my local Ulta and I said, hey, I'm starting to do YouTube videos more and I need something to help me out here. So they pointed me in this direction. It's by Pure Minerals. So I'm sure there's a million different products I really don't know. And it's just a little powder, stick on your face, your nose, takes the shine down, gives you a more even complexion and color and skin tone for your videos. Just go into your local beauty supply store, tell them you're doing some videos, you need something to stick on your face, and they'll help you out a lot. The last 3, 4, 5 years for me have been some interesting years, let's just say that. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I tried to really crawl out from under my rock. I was going to start vlogging. I was going to start making content again. And I started pulling out the cameras and the microphones, and I got myself a gimbal, and I was going to just go headlong into it. I mean, as a commercial photographer, I am well aware of all the work and the production that goes into making something. And honestly, I have the tools to do all of that. But when you've got this like cloud that seems to just chase you no matter where you go, there are days when small tasks feel like mountains. Waking up and saying, I'm going to go make a video today, and then looking at the bank of dead batteries you have, and they all need to get charged, and you've got to change the batteries out on your lav mics, and you got to make sure you got all the right cables, and is your gimbal charged and ready to roll, and you got to get it balanced, and you got to, yeah, you know what, maybe I'll make that video tomorrow. So there are just times that even small things just seem huge, and they're enough of a mental block that you just don't do it. And I've been dealing with a lot of that in my life. If you're a commercial client of mine, I will be there with all the batteries charged, all my cards formatted, I'll have 10 tripods, a grip truck, whatever you need, I am there. If it's something that I'm going to do, there are a lot of days that just getting up, making the bed, and cleaning the kitchen is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. Another big block for me right now is I just recently moved. So on a good day, I'm an hour away from my studio. On a bad day, I'm an hour and a half or more away from my studio. So if I'm looking at 2 to 3 or more hours of commute time for my day to go in and make a video, that's just a mountain to have to climb some days. So it was really important to me to figure out, how can I start making content just where I am? How can I be at home, grab a camera and a light or so, turn it on and make something? This, for me, has been the big thing that I've needed to work on. So if you're wanting to start making content for yourself, look at the blocks that are challenging you in your life. They could be physical blocks, like I want to start making more videos, but I don't want to have to like rearrange my entire living room. Start walking around your house and saying, where could I find a nice clean background that will work? Maybe, it's not perfect, but it will get me started, and start there. And if there are mental blocks that you're dealing with, there are challenges that are just, holding you back, simplify as much of it as you can possibly do. Like for me, I'm just shooting it on my phone. Thing's always charged up, it's always in my pocket, it's always ready to roll. Let's just start with that. It's a good starting point. You got to start somewhere. And this, for me, is where I'm starting. And it may seem like a lot, like, well, Zach, you got this ring light, and you got this rim light over here, and a microphone, and a thing, and a stand, and a stuff. And for the life that I'm used to in production work, this isn't really much at all. I can handle this. I can do this. Get your camera on something solid, improve your audio a little bit, turn on a simple light, and tell us your story. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you're working on. Tell us what new product you want to launch or are launching. You can increase the quality of your content with some pretty simple tools. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you have comments, if you have questions, if you have feedback, if you would like to see me do something more in-depth on any part of this, just let me know in the comments, and subscribe and hit the little bell and do all the other things all the other people are telling you to do on their channels. Please do it on my channel as well, and share this with your friends. I appreciate it, everyone. Thanks a lot. Please make me internet famous, Alfie. Oh God, am I recording?